and welcome back to another video. And in this video we're looking at the third section of the technical drawing building drawing paper 2 from 2024. That's May-June 2024. So as you can see here, we have the question in front of us, and this is what we're going to be tackling in this video. I really don't want to spend more than 15 minutes on this, but let's see how things go. All right, now as you see, it says that you should not spend more than 30 minutes. So if we're going to be doing it in 15 minutes, we'll have more than enough time to make adjustment and probably pretty it up a bit more. All right, so let's get into things. So it says make a neat proportional sectional sketch of each of the following: load-bearing block masonry wall for 10 marks, and non-load-bearing block masonry wall for 8 marks. Alright, so you just need to draw them and you'll get the marks there. Then section B of it says label the following components. So it means that if you're going to label it, you must have them on your section for the wall as well: the ring, belt beam, floor slab, and foundation. Alright, and that is worth 9 marks. And finally, candidates will be awarded marks for proportion, and line weight. Alright, now we're using AutoCAD, so everything is going to be perfect, so we don't need to worry about that. Alright, here I'll just be showing you what it will look like and how we go about tackling it in AutoCAD. So let's get into things. So let's make our way over to AutoCAD. As you can see, my drawing environment is already set up. I'm going to be doing my drawing here. Let me just switch my layer to a wall. Now this drawing file will be linked in the description, as well as the two other questions that are associated with this paper here. Everything will be linked in the description. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into things. Now you recall that when you were doing your SBA, probably when you were doing practice questions, you might have noticed that when you were drawing the walls on your floor plan, you probably had one that was 150 millimeters thick and another that is 100 millimeters thick. That is the basis of what we're going to be using to distinguish our load bearing from our non-load bearing wall. All right, now our load bearing wall will have a lot more information on it in terms of like structurally, because the load bearing has to be stronger than the non-load bearing, because the non-load bearing wall, it won't be supporting anything, it won't be holding up anything, so we don't need to put a lot of work into it in terms of like the strength of it. All right, so that's what I'm going to be doing here, even though both of them are masonry. All right, so let's start things off by first let's start by drawing the foundation. All right, now the foundation is going to, or the foundation, if you remember foundation details that you would have done, that's the exact thing that we're going to be doing here. So I'm going to draw a rectangle first. I'm going to make the width of it 450, and I'm going to make the height 300. All right, so that is it right there, as you can see. So we basically have our foundation there. All right, this is our load bearing wall. All right, and this is what carries the bulk of the mark. The next rectangle that I'm going to be drawing is REC. Enter. This rectangle is going to have a width of 150 millimeters, and the height is going to be, we can use the measurement that they gave us from our thing up here. We could use that. Where is the note? Let's use that. Floor slab to window, height from floor slab to top ridge, 25. That's what we're going to use. I want to use something specific. 2500. All right, so that is our wall right there, as you can see. Let's move it over. Now, as you know, for foundation, the foundation width is always 3 times the size of whatever the thickness of the wall is, and it's the reason why we made ours 450 here. All right, because 3 times 150 is 450, I think. All right, now once you have that in place, the next thing that we're going to be doing is that we're going to be adding our reinforcement to our foundation here. Now depending on how you want to do yours, I'm going to try to make mine as simple as possible. So what I'm going to be doing is that this bottom line here, I'm going to be offsetting it up. So let me just explode this. X, enter, that has been exploded. I'm going to be offsetting this bottom line here, or this baseline here, up by 50 millimeters. Alright, and this line that I've just offset up is going to be representing the steel, the reinforcement, the rebar that is in the concrete pad. Alright, I'm also going to be offsetting the same distance on the sides as well. And the reason why I'm using 150 is because of a term, or something that they call cover. Alright, now the cover refer to the minimum spacing or the minimum distance that the concrete covers the steel. Basically, we don't want to leave the steel out in open here, right? Because if it's exposed to the weather, what is going to happen? It's going to rot, all right? And if it rots, then it can't do its job, all right? So this is the perfect relationship that we have here with concrete and steel, all right? Now the reason why I use 50 is because whenever you're going to be drawing any form of reinforcement and it's going to be encased in concrete, as long as it's in the ground, it is recommended that you use 50 millimeters or 2 inches. If it's outside, then you could use 25 millimeters, alright, because there's less chance of it getting corroded. Because you know, if it's, think about I don't know, you being in a concrete house, right? And there's a few rooms in front of before you get to, so you probably have that living room in front, then you have a bathroom, then your room at the back. If a car was to run inside of your house, what is going to happen? It will have to pass through the living room, pass through the bathroom before it gets to you. Alright, it's the same treatment here. Alright, it's as if we're trying to slow down the corrosive material or substance that is outside in the ground from getting to the steel itself or the reinforcement. Alright, now that's enough blabbering from me here. Let's get to work. Now, once I've done that, now you could make this single line, and I think I'm going to make it single line to make things a bit easier or simpler. For my fillet curve, I think I should have changed the fillet curve to probably, I'm going to add a radius. The radius is going to be equal to about, let's make it 6. Alright, so like this, that's what I'm going to do. Alright, now this line here is actually representing my stirrup, alright, if you want to call it that, or links. These are basically representing links. Now the bend or the curve here has a specific measurement. I don't remember the formula for it, something times the diameter, but in the interest of time and mere fact that this is just a sketch, you don't need to, everything don't need to be exact. Alright, everything don't need to be exact, so that's the reason why I'm just getting some random lines in like that. Alright, I'm going to be trimming away the top portion. Alright, you may tackle this a different way, but this is how I'm doing it. So that is it right there. Alright, the next thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be drawing some circles. Now the diameter for this circle is going to be 12, about 12, so I'm going to make the radius 6. Alright, and this here, or this steel member here, let me put it about here, I don't want to put it exactly there. I'm going to be mirroring it to the other side like this. No, and I need one in the middle as well. CP, enter. Let me just have a little reference point here. I'm going too much on this here. Anyways, if it takes 20 minutes, I'm good nonetheless. Alright, so I have those 3 pieces of steel. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be drawing a line up the center of my reinforced wall here. This line is actually representing steel as well. So this is the steel that you will see on construction site that comes out of the ground. Alright, now how far does this go? Let me turn on ortho here. I'm going to take it to about here, and I'm going to then draw a line across here like this. Now you might be wondering why I leave space. Now I could have easily drawn it until it touches this, if I wanted, but I'm not doing that. The reason why I'm not doing that is because I am going to be putting this here on a special layer. Alright, a layer that has a sign line weighting, and you recall them talking about line weighting. So it doesn't matter whether I double the lines and offset them or not, because when I put them on the correct layer and then I print, it's going to automatically going to be a bit fatter or thicker than all other things. Alright, so that is it right there. The next thing I'm going to be doing, since it is a masonry wall, masonry is basically those blocks that they used to build the house. Now let me just explode this here, and you see that line here that I've just exploded. I'm going to be offsetting it up by about 8 inches, because I think that's about the height of a block, a concrete block. 8 inches about 200 millimeters, so I'm going to be offsetting that line up by 200 millimeters like this. Alright, that's not 200. Oh, enter 200. Alright, yeah. Alright, so that's 200. So basically from here to here is the block wall. Alright, now once I've done so, I am going to do some work to this now. So because technically I'm imagining as if I cut through the concrete wall as well. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be offsetting this inner line here inwards by a certain amount. I'm going to be offsetting it by about 25 millimeters. So offset 25, yeah, 25 millimeters. Alright, like this. Alright, now this is basically representing the edge or the walls of the concrete block, and inside here is the core of the concrete block. So inside of here is going to be filled with what do you call it, concrete. Alright, so it means that I can now take this now and I'm going to be copying it up. Alright, and this is just my method. You could have, depending on where you would have cut the block wall, things might have or could be a bit different. Alright, so I'm just offsetting up a few. Now remember, we need a belt beam as well, Now the belt beam is going to be, I'm going to just make this my last one. Now our belt beam, so let me just stop this right here and trim away here. Now the belt beam is similar to what we did when we were doing the lintel for the, whatchamacallit, the sash window, the lintel portion. So it's the same treatment here. So let me just go ahead and draw a little rectangle inside of here. Alright, then I offset that by offset it by 25 millimeters. Now this 25 millimeters is representing the stirrup. Alright, now I'm going to be drawing circles. The circles are going to be 12 millimeter in diameter, so the radius is going to be about 6. So we're just working with that number, and I'm just eyeballing all of this here since we're just doing a sketch. Don't need to be perfect. I don't want to snap to anything. So once I have that one circle there in place, I'm going to be mirroring it to my left. Let me turn on O snap. To my left and ortho. To my left. Let me probably move it a bit more to the right or to the left. Alright, so just to make sure that all is well, here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to place these on the relevant layer from now. Steel. Alright, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to turn on, let me see if I can show you this here so I can see how fat it actually looks. Alright, so you see what is going on. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So this is basically what we're doing here. Now you recall me doing the fillet thing. We could do that as well here for the corners to make things look a lot better. Like that. And that corner as well. So this and this. Now you will recall me drawing, let me just turn off O snap here and turn off ortho. Drawing something like this on the lintel drawing. Alright, I'm doing the same thing here as well. So let me place this on the relevant layer. Now once I have that in place, let me just turn this off. You see these circle? I'm going to mirror them down to the other end. Maybe I need to fillet it first. Fillet it first. Here. So this is going to run me up some time. Here. Now if this was a sketch and I'm doing it on paper, I'll probably be finished by now. So let's go ahead and mirror these circle down. Turn on O snap for that. Find the center. Alright, no. Then I also need, I'm going to put two of them in the center as well. CP. Yeah, I'm just eyeballing it right there. So this is our belt beam. Alright, this is our block wall. This is the foundation. I think it said something about floor. Let me double check on that. Alright, so it says ring / belt beam, floor slab, and foundation. So we have floor slab, so we need the foundation, so we need the floor slab. How am I going to do that? Here's how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to offset this baseline here up by 900 millimeter. Alright, just to make things a bit simple, because I don't want the drum. So this is the floor slab. Alright. Now, once I've done so, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to offset this line down by 150 to represent the floor slab. Alright. This line here, I'm going to offset it down by, I don't know, 12. And then, because that will represent the tile, then I'll offset another, maybe 25. I could do that. I could do 25 to represent the mortar. Alright, so that will be basically the floor. Alright, this is the cross section of it. And this is basically it. The only thing that is missing from this is for you to like do some hatching. The hatching that we're using is going to be AR conch. The portion that we're hatching is this. That's there in the foundation. And we would also hatch up here as well. So we'll hatch inside of the belt beam as well. Hope everything goes well. Yeah. Alright. So we'll hatch inside of there. Alright. We'll need to do some matching of properties. So, you know, this is the steel. These as well for the steel. Just ensure that I'm not selecting any of the concrete. Alright, yeah. Alright, just like that. Alright. Now, you recall me saying that this portion is the core and it is going to be filled with concrete of this portion of the block. So I'm going to hatch that as well. Now, I believe I have a hatch layer. So let me just go to that layer from now. So I don't have anything to worry about. So let's hatch these. Hatch that, hatch that, hatch that, hatch. Yeah, and I'm going crazy with this. Alright, and this file will be linked down in the description as well. Alright, just like that. Now I could edit the scale of this. So the scale is currently at 1. I'm not sure. Maybe I should try 5. If it's too big, then I'll probably use 0.5. That should make things look a lot better. Now, if you want as well, you can hatch the block, but you'll hatch it using like, I think sand or something. That's these cores coming up on the side, but I'm going to leave them. I'm going to do my little section or my break line here as well. And you know how I do my break lines already. I simply do like this. Let me like that, back in and then across like that, and then I do some cleaning up by trimming. So this is how I do it. Alright, and then I simply join and trim everything that goes beyond. Okay, just like that. All right, so this is basically it. This is our or load bearing wall. So this is more than capable of handling what is going on. So as you can see, it is filled. The blocks are filled with concrete. It has the belt beam at the top there. I have my floor. I need to hatch my floor using AR conch as well. And again, you can hatch here using sun to represent the mortar. Alright, and you can make inside here solid hatch. It's up to you. Alright, so you'll have to add your title as well, just to make things interesting. So come on, let's go. So you go load bearing masonry wall. Alright, so you'll have that there like that. Alright, position it appropriately somewhere about there. Alright, so that will be it there. Now, the only other thing that needs to be done, I think they said we should label it. Label the ring beam, the belt beam, and first slab. So we could add those. Label the following. So we're going to be labeling them now. Let's do that. Using leader line. Alright. Going here, so we're here. So this is the foundation. You know what? Here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to say draw a line somewhere from here across like this. This will represent the ground level. Let me turn this on just to make sure. Let me turn this on as well. Yeah, something like that. Let's grab onto this like this. Alright, so I'll just write foundation between these spot here. Let me just add the ground level. So let me just go ahead and drop some labelings where labels need to be. So let me turn this off, place something there, something there. Alright, so let's do this. So this is the foundation. That's the foundation. Alright, simple. So it's between here. Alright, then I'm going to change this letter to G underscore L. This is the ground level, so I'm representing the ground level with this to make things a bit interesting. Alright, so for the labelings, this is your I don't remember what they call it, but I'm going to write belt beam, belt beam. What else they ask us for? Floor slab. Floor slab. Alright. That's all you need. Now for the non-load bearing wall, just think about it. The first thing you're going to do is simply remove all the major things. So see, you're not going to have any reinforcement in it, and it's going to be a bit smaller. So on that note, we can add dimension to this here. Alright. Alright, so we add some dimension to that. Alright. So one of the key difference. And we could do the same thing up here as well if you like. Alright. For the non-load bearing, we're going to go rectangle, so REC. And we're going to draw that. In this case, we're going to make the width 100. Tab key, the height is going to be the same, 2000. I think it was 500. Alright, we're still going to use the same height, approximately. Now, for the foundation portion, you don't need to worry too much about it, because here is the thing. When it comes on to non-load bearing wall, since it's not structural, generally it might not have a foundation. So think about it like your closet or something of that sort. Alright, but nonetheless, we're just going to be copying some stuff that are from our load bearing wall here, so that it makes things a bit easier. So let's probably move this out of the way. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is that for my foundation pad, again, it don't need to be as big if you're going to be doing a foundation pad for it. Alright, if you're going to use a foundation, because you could have easily just put it on the floor slab, and that would be pretty much it, for your load bearing, your non-load bearing wall. Let me just grab onto this, out, click. Alright, and then we're going over. Because non-load bearing walls are generally internal walls. Alright, so we're going to do it like that. So let's offset that 150. 150. Alright, so this is our floor slab. We're going to break it. If we're going to be doing something like that, we could do that. Alright, let's offset this line up by 12. Oh, let's go 25 first for some mortar, and let's go up another 10 for the tile. So that's basically be the floor. TR, and get rid of all of this and this. Okay, for the foundation, if you're going to add foundation for it, just simply you go REC. The width of it is going to be 3 times 100 is 300. Tab key, and the height of it is going to be 200. Alright, let's move this to the center there. Move. Oops. Alright, just like that. Alright, so in terms of like, it would not have a belt beam necessarily for this here, for the load bearing wall, but you can add a belt beam on it if you choose. But this belt beam does not need to be reinforced. No major need to reinforce it. Alright, so let's just add that there. Again, we'll still have some blocks in it. We'll still have the blocks, so let's just select these that we have here and see if we can copy them across. Alright, so let's grab onto that. CP, enter, because these blocks are a bit different. Alright, like that. And again, we are going to offset the 1 inch. The 1 inch on either side of this here. So I think I didn't explode these, so I might have to do so now. X, enter, O, enter, 25, this inwards, this inwards, this inwards, this inwards. Alright, and then now I can now trim away the excess of everything that I don't want. Alright, for this, and then for the remainder. Alright, something like that. Alright, cool. Let me grab onto this and mirror it to the other side as well. Alright, something of that sort. Now, this is pretty much it. You really don't need to add much there. You could do the hatching pattern to it, and you again can label your belt beam, if you want to call it that, and similar to what you did over here. Alright, the only thing for this one here, you don't really need to add any reinforcement in it or anything like that. Alright, so that will be it. Alright, I hope this video was helpful. Made it just in time for the 20 or the 30th minute. Please remember to lay out your drawing For this, you really don't need to do any form of scaling like that. You just need to ensure that it's filled up on the page, the paper. Alright, so as you can see, it looks beautiful already. Nothing major, just that one is overly engineered and the other is not. Nothing major. Alright, so see you in the next video. Hope this video was helpful. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Something to note as well that I didn't do is to add the mortar between the blocks. So for example, there's going to be a space between each block, about a inch or so. So what you'll do is simply offset an inch between them. In mine, mine is a bit, well, it's a sketch, so it doesn't matter. So all you'll have to do is simply just offset about 25, like that, alright? And that will be it, alright, to represent the mortar in between the blocks that actually holds the blocks together, alright, and it will be the same thing for your non-load bearing wall as well, alright. So that will be it. Okay, bye bye.